Another story making all the back pages today is Ben White opting out of the England squad for the Euros. He decided to not accept a call-up if it were to come his way. He'd had that conversation with Gareth Southgate. Let's reflect on the fact that he left the squad in Qatar for personal reasons during the World Cup, and saying that he was unhappy and falling out with the assistant coach Steve Holland. So Darren Bent thinks that the Arsenal fullback's honesty should be respected in this instance.
Like, some people who I know hated it, and I always used to think,
what did they hate?
You'll get some players that are just like, do you know what? I know I'm not going to play. I've got no chance of playing. There are about 3 or 4 people in front of me in my position. I'm going to go there for 10 days, 2 weeks, not play any minutes. And for what reason? I'd rather stay at home. But then I said, I know players that would at least would do the honourable thing, would go there, get there and go, got an injury, and leave. So the only thing I say about Ben White, although I wouldn't do that I would always want to go, at least he's been honest straight away and gone, I don't want to
go. Ben White and Alan Brazil would get on very, very well. What do you think about this, Ray?
He's a strange one, because playing for your country is one of the proudest moments. Look, it's great playing for your club and being successful at your clubs, but to put that England shirt on, you are one of the best players in your country. So surprised, but this day and age, players make these big decisions, and will he regret it? Probably, if I'm being honest, because when you finish your career, I'm very proud to say I'd love to have got more caps for England, but I didn't, and and he's a really, really top-class player. He's been brilliant for Arsenal. I'm just putting my Arsenal head on it. He's been one of the consistent players, right back, centre-half. He can play anywhere along that back four, and he's been brilliant. But I don't think he's in love with football. Some players don't like it. It's a job for him. That's how he looks at it, which I find it quite strange, because I love football, and I was gutted when I had to leave. But I just imagine when he's had enough of football towards his end of his career, he'd walk away like nothing's happened.
Yeah.
And he won't worry about it and just get on with his life. And that's the sort of guy he is.
Well, I can't get my head around it. How can you make yourself unavailable? He's got, to be fair to him, he's got 4 right backs in front of him: Reece James, Trent, Trippier, Kyle Walker. But they lose form, they get injured. You wait for your chance, you get in there, and you put yourself in a position where you can't leave me out. To not play for your country, I can't get my head around it.
Do you think you'd want an explanation now from Ben White as to why he's decided not to opt in?
Well, Gareth Southgate's come out and said there's no issue between me and Ben, and there's no issue between Steve Holland and Ben. Mm-hmm. So what is it? What is it?
Is that a lot of football? Does he want just a rest? Is that fair?
I think it was a situation where if he's not going to play, he's not going to play on a regular basis, or not going to be starting, and he's just in a squad, he'd rather not be there.
Imagine everyone done that, though.
I know.
Imagine we'd never have a squad.
I'm with you a little bit. I was in loads of squads, but I never played. Yeah. But you're there just in case that you are needed or want to play or get opportunities, you're rightly saying. And when you do get your opportunity, you've got to play so well to say, well, you can't really leave me out there. That's not fair. But he's one of them sort of guys. I think it was the World Cup, wasn't it, when he had an opportunity to get put on. Yeah. And I think they put Eric Dyer on instead, who wasn't playing on a regular basis at Spurs. And, I think that really got up his...
And he can play centre-back, which is another option for him.
Well, that's how he comes free at the back. He can play in a free at the back.
He'll be sorry when he's finished playing.
Yeah.
But look, people make decisions. Will he regret it? We'll have to wait and see. He probably wouldn't. At the end of his career, say, no, I had a great career. Played really well for Arsenal. Hopefully I won a few trophies. Whether he can or not, we'll have to wait and see. But, he's made that decision. And I find it quite strange, because I loved every minute going to England and trying to represent your country. But
look at Trent, Shaban. He was not getting picked at right back, and he stayed in the squad. I remember Gabby saying, if I was him, I'd pack in. Playing for England, and he ended up playing in the middle midfield.
Yeah, I mean, it's got everybody talking and kind of divided this morning too, but Gareth Southgate said he doesn't want any backlash from Arsenal fans towards Ben White for making this decision, but I'm sure it's going to rumble on.
I'm sure Arsenal fans are just saying, well, just try and win the Champions League this year. They won't be worried about the country. I mean, at the moment, of course we want the country to do well when the Euros come around, but I'm sure they will get right behind him, the Arsenal fans.
TalkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the TalkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. TalkSPORT.